What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. On today's video, we're gonna do an in-depth comparison between the 900 Global Reality and the 900 Global Zen Master. Now, the Reality and the Zen Master have the two strongest covers that the 900 Global brand offers. The Reality is the S84 and the 900 Global is the S77, both solids. And that's why we're gonna be doing this comparison. So this first shot here, I'm just trying to take a little guess where I need to be playing. Now, just because this ball has the strongest cover that the 900 Global umbrella offers, doesn't mean that it's gonna be like, when we talk about hook, it's gonna be front to back, not side to side, which is why both of these balls aren't gonna shape a whole lot. If you guys like this video, make sure to hit that like button, subscribe, and hit that notification bell, as it's an easy, free way to help support the channel. And if you guys like either the Reality or the Zen Master, there's a link down below where you can order yours through Bowler's Mart so that they know who sent you. It really, really helps the channel. And if you guys like this jersey, coolwick.com, use my promo code MOTIVELU10, and that'll get you 10% off. So I'm gonna go back to the same spot, just try to not leak it as far right and see if that looks a little bit better. Yeah, that looked way, way better. I tried to, I guess I should have said the move beforehand, but I moved my eyes one left just to try to keep it in the oil a little bit longer, and it looks really, really good. Now, the cores are pretty different in the sense that the Reality is an asymmetrical core. It's the disturbance core, has an RG of, let me look at my notes here, 249, a differential of 052, and an intermediate differential of 018. So this is gonna be that typical strong asymmetrical. And then down below in the description, I have a link to my Patreon, and I invite each and every one of you to come out and join. So I'm actually gonna go 1 and 1 left, just a very small move before we get into the Zen Master. So that one I actually missed right a little bit, and even though it's a big asymmetrical ball that tries to not shape, it still came around the corner pretty hard. Now we're gonna get into the Zen Master from the same spot before we make any, from the same spot, and then I'll make a move accordingly if I have to. So we talked a little bit about the Reality. Now we're gonna talk a little bit about the Zen Master, which so far has been my favorite ball that I've drilled in the last month. And I've drilled a lot in the last month. So the layouts are a little bit different. The layout on the Reality was 45 by 4.5 by 45, and the Zen Master is 50 by 4 by 30. So a little bit different layout, but not a whole lot to really make a huge difference. The differences are gonna be the core and the cover. So like I said, this first shot, we're gonna go back to that same spot and see what the differences is, or what the differences are. So I kind of missed left on that shot, and I think that the Reality from there would have gone maybe Brooklyn just because of how much stronger it is. I do think that the Zen Master is going to create a little bit more shape if I get it to that spot. So I'll throw one more shot from that same spot, and then I'll make a move. So the one thing I am liking a lot about the 900 Global brand in general is that right on the ball, it tells you what the cover is. So this one says S77, the Reality is S83. Let me double check that. S84, sorry, S84. And then the larger that number, the stronger the cover is. So there's no guessing. There's no, oh, what does this mean? What does this mean? The higher the number, the stronger the cover. So let me go back to that same spot again and just throw a better shot. Just be a little bit better here. Yeah, so it's shaped a little bit more for sure. For sure. Weaker core, weaker cover in the grand scheme of things. At the end of the day, the Zen Master is a strong core, strong cover, but way weaker than the Reality. So off that half 10 that fell, I'm gonna move 2 and 2 right and get a little bit more up the lane. So I just wanna give a really big shout out to Becky here at the Suncoast for accommodating us this morning. She is one of the best bowling center managers, along with Tom at Samstown. Some of the best bowling center managers that I've ever had the privilege of working with. So, like I said, this shot, we're gonna go 2 and 2 right, get it a little bit more up the lane. And then when I get back into the Reality, I'll move way left with both of them. So this is gonna be nice and up the lane. Wow. So I should have maybe split the difference at 1 and 1, because that 2 and 2 right really pretty violently wrapped the 10. So I probably could have gone maybe one more left off that shot. Now we're gonna get back into the reality, and we're gonna move a little bit further left. So maybe a little self-promotion here, guys, but if you're on Facebook, look up Louis Napoles YouTube, and that's my group page on YouTube for my YouTube channel. And I put polls on there all the time about asking what videos you guys wanna see first and whatnot. I put up a poll yesterday asking which video you wanted to see first, and Reality versus Zen Master was the winner. So head on over there and join that group. So I'm gonna move 6 and 3 left. 6 and 3 left from where I was at the beginning, and just try to get a little bit softer and see if this big asymmetrical is gonna shape. The reality is good, guys. The reality is good. When I built League in this center, I threw a Sherlock the entire year, and it was like I crushed it that season with that Sherlock. And I'm getting a lot of vibes of the Sherlock in this reality. So if you were a fan of that Sherlock, really consider getting this reality. So the first move with the reality was 6 and 3, 6 and 2. We'll say 6 and 3. And then I'll move another 5 now. And then when I get into the Zen Master, I'll make that same move. So I was 6 and 3. Now I'm gonna go another 5 and 3. So I'm pretty far left. See what this ball's capable of here. Ooh, yeah, there we go. We are bowling on a fresh typical house shot, so there's gonna be a lot of volume in the middle part of the lane. And I think on that shot, I probably should have got it a little bit more into the friction. Even though it is a big, huge asymmetrical solid, it still has its limits. So these 2 shots you're gonna see here with the Zen Master are gonna be from the same 2 spots as that reality. And guys, real quick, liking the video, subscribing, using my promo code, they're all really, really good ways to support the channel. The absolute best way to support the channel is if you guys like any of these bowling balls that you're seeing and you want to get one for yourself, if you feel like I've influenced you into making that purchase, use one of my links. That way BowlerSmart, I can keep them accountable, they can keep me accountable, how many sales I'm generating because of this channel. It's the absolute best way to help support the channel. So all right, we're gonna come back here. I think it was like 6 and 3 that we went with the reality. And the reality looked really good. So we'll see what the Zen Master looks like from here. Man, the Zen Master is S77 to S84 in the reality. So that's 7 numbers. And the S77 is strong, but it shapes. And that's what I really like about the Zen Master, is that it shapes even though it's a big solid. So just real quick thinking, I'm thinking the reality to start on the fresh into the Zen Master might be a really, really good option. But now, this is gonna be the really, really big test, because when I got really far left with the reality, it kinda bailed, never hooked in the oil, left a 2-8. So now we're gonna see how the Zen Master handles being this far left. And I'm gonna try to make it as good a shot as possible. So we're just gonna get here, same spot. This is gonna be, like I said, the really, really big test. If this is gonna be able to shape where the reality did not. Yes, the answer is yes. Now, that doesn't mean that the Zen Master is stronger than the reality. The reality is still way stronger, like I said, front to back. But when you want the ball to create a little bit more shape and you gotta get into the soup, maybe the Zen Master might be a little bit better of an option. And I love this Zen Master. Now we're gonna get into the versatility test so that we can see which one of these 2 is more versatile. All right, versatility test time, very simple. 3 shots from 3 different zones, 15, 25, 35, so that we can see which one of these 2 balls is more versatile. Let me know down below in the comments which one of these 2 balls you think is gonna be more versatile. And also, let me know in the comments if you guys have a Zen Master or if you have a reality, and which one of the 2 is your favorite, and most importantly, why. So this first shot here is gonna be from 15 at my feet, and I'm trying to get it nice and up the lane, as forward as possible. And this is a part of the lane I typically wouldn't play with this ball on a house shot, so we're gonna see how this looks here. Boy, that looks really good. Now, Suncoast is one of the only centers in town where I can use a big asymmetrical solid from that far right. And that's, if I lived closer to the center, this is where I would film all my videos and bowl all my leagues. So zone 1 with the reality looked really, really good. I mean, you can't really deny that. Now we're gonna get into the Zen Master. If I had to guess, the Zen Master might shape a little bit more just because it is a symmetrical, a little bit weaker of a cover. So, all right, let's see here. Zone 1, Zen Master. Wow. Guys, that might be, I'm not gonna check, maybe one of you guys knows for a fact, that might be the first time since I've been doing this versatility test that I've struck with both balls from zone 1. They both looked really good. I like what I see. You guys know I like saying that. Guys, that blew my mind that I struck with both of these super strong balls from zone 1. I would have said that neither one of them had a chance. So now we're in zone 2, which is gonna be from about 25 with my feet, create a little bit more shape, and see how this looks here. All right, 25 here. And this is about where we were playing at the beginning of the video. So both of these should look pretty good. Oh boy. Yeah, I missed right. And when you miss right with a ball this strong, it has no chance. I left a 2-8. So now we're gonna get into the Zen Master. And if I miss right the same way, I would venture to say that the Zen Master would actually strike because it responds to the friction way harder than the reality. You know what though? That was like what? 13, 14 shots into the video, and that was the first really bad ball I threw. Guys, I think I'm getting better finally. So now we're gonna get zone 2, Zen Master. And I'm actually gonna try to get it right a little bit like I did with the, unintentionally with the reality. But this is gonna be a little bit more intentional with the Zen Master. Hey! Fell off balance, missed left, but the Zen Master still gets the job done. So zone 1 was pretty much a toss-up, and we went nice and up the lane. Zone 2, probably had to go to the Zen Master, and we got the ball a little bit more right. And now for zone 3, it's gonna be from 35, and I'm gonna try to keep it a little bit tighter on both of these shots. So here's to making a good shot from here. So about 35. Like I said, I'm gonna try to keep this in the oil a little bit. So I'm moving my eyes left, further left than I have been this whole video. Man, so this ball just really, really struggles to come around the corner. And that's not necessarily a bad thing because this is a part of the lane that I typically wouldn't even be playing with a big asymmetrical solid. Big asym solids, on a house shot especially, are gonna be a little bit better from a little straighter. So I suspect that the Zen Master will look way better from there. All right, so here we are, folks. Last shot of the video, comparing the Zen Master to the reality, this time from zone 3. The biggest things that I'm seeing is that the reality is way, way stronger in the front part of the lane, whereas the Zen Master likes to create a little bit more shape. And that's because it is a symmetrical core, it is a weaker cover, weaker core as well, even though it's only a little weaker, it's still weaker. So I suspect that the Zen Master will look pretty good from zone 3. All right, here we are. Throw one good shot here to end the video. Yeah, so both balls from that part of the lane kind of struggled. Big giant puddle in the middle part of the lane. I think something like the RSTX2 would have really, or has been crushing it from that part of the lane for me over the last couple weeks. So the big thing I'm seeing, like I said, is that the reality, a little bit stronger front to back. The Zen Master, a little bit stronger in the back part of the lane. Might be a really good 1-2 punch depending on what you're seeing. Where you're starting a little bit straighter with the reality, then you can get into the Zen Master from that same part of the lane. Guys, thank you so much for joining me in this video. Use the links. Let Bowler Smart know who sent you to order these bowling balls. Until next time.